good again, and it looks like Hughes has picked up on the trail.
Early adopter. Let's see. Is it enough to carry him into grand finals of the South American bracket? Only time will tell. Let's get into our winners finals match.
Yeah, I mean, the other part about this, though, that is a little bit different is that when Priya did come out, initially, a sword hadn't been hit yet, I don't think, right? So this is still an overall nerfed Priya because sword isn't as good. On the other side of things, though, we do have Wess rocking that Tesca that we've kind of gotten to know him for as of late. And despite the fact that, you know, battle boots and gauntlets here and there have been getting tagged over and over, this legend continues to prove to be a very, very potent threat in the current meta.
Yeah, 100%. We're also just talking about a player matchup where these two are wildly familiar with one another, right? So I don't think the legend swap on the side of Hughes is really going to shake Wess all that much, just given how often these two play against each other. So let's see what we can have here. I mean, all the legends are still going to get hit about the same by that the first little ground pound attempt into the breakdance.
Wow, no touch there? I thought I saw you get the touch, but I guess not. That gravity cancel breakdance going to be enough. We didn't get to see any of that chakram on that first stock, mainly sword, which also makes sense. I mean, Hughes just has a lot more time on that weapon. Playing Jae-Yun, playing Alucard, now on the Priya. I'm not too surprised by, oh my god, what a read.
What a mix, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Split it up.
Chakram's online. All right, we splitting it. And we see, yeah, a lot of like just verticality, especially with the split chakrams, and especially pre-nerf, right? That was kind of problematic to a lot of the player base. It was like, oh, you can get your KOs so early with one burn dodge read, just like every other weapon in the game. But we see it a little bit less potently, like you had mentioned before. So let's see what Hughes does specifically on edge guards is where I'm curious for split chakrams, because this was a big thing Taza was bringing up, where he was like, just fuse them if you're gonna go for something like that.
Yeah, no, if you're gonna go for single hits especially, I mean, may as well get the most bang for your buck. And of course, that sidelight is gonna convert into that guaranteed neutral light that we just saw from Hughes there. And Hughes, I mean, one of the kind of the best players in South America, known for honestly slowing down the pace. You know, used to play a lot more aggressive, I think, with Jae-Yun in some ways, but also was a lot more aggressive in the fact that because he had to kind of camp in your face. Now with a weapon like Chakram and Sword, you're able to kind of wean back a little bit and really bide your time. Ooh, that's a pretty
big
punish.
whip. Okay. Hughes doesn't get a lot off of that, though, which is kind of unorthodox from uncanny for him, but either way, he still has pretty decent stage positioning. Weapon spawn is going to kind of create a line in the sand, at least for a moment.
Oh, there we go. Big conversion coming out from Hughes there, throwing out those, you know, split recoveries. Not going to be KOing nearly as easily as they used to before, but really does set up for these juggles, and it's so hard to punish, right?
Yeah,
you can just throw it out and then fade away, and you know, Wess gets what, one neutral air? Okay, we'll take that.
Yeah, let's also watch for burn dodges too, right? Like, that's such a big crux of this type of matchup here. We saw Wess take the hit on first interaction, then dodge after the fact. There's no chakram in hand here, so Wess can just kind of take the damage.
All right, and now things extremely even here, but Hughes does not have a weapon. Wess kind of sitting by the side, trying to see how he can close out this stock. And maybe he'll be able to find it. The gravity cancel D-Light's not going to find the mark there, but Hughes doesn't have a chance to pick up the weapon. There we go. Has a sword. A D-Light is going to be the name of the game to secure this stock, or even a side air in the corner.
Yeah, Sarah or recovery at this point is real close. Pushed off once again towards the right blast zone. Hughes hanging onto the sword for a bit longer, and here comes recovery. No, it's just Sarah instead.
All right, forcing him out. Gonna have to burn a lot, and then comes in with the recovery, but the ceiling too high. Gonna have to fish for one more blow here. Wess looking to get maybe a stray side air. The end light's not gonna be enough either.
Yeah, I think positioning also kind of matters here too, right? Like, he had built up so much damage onto Wess that about the roughly same positioning for the same sword recovery will net the KO there. But Hughes making it work for the most part in the red.
Let's see. Once again, Hughes, I was telling you, really good at slowing down the pace here. Tries to get that punish, can't get on the stage quick enough. Wanted to get that down here to carry Wess up and scoop him to a potential conversion, but instead, gonna kind of be floating around Wess, waiting for him to whiff something and then go ahead and try to secure the punish there.
Yeah, I mean, the South American players are nothing if not patient, right? Which is kind of weird because I consider Wess one of the more aggressive players of this region. So being met with that level of intense neutral can sometimes be a challenging experience if you're Wess.
Yeah, especially against someone like Hughes, who, like, man, he has some of the best defensive movement in the game, right? And so it's like, even though I'd like to be aggressive, when your opponent's defense is just that strong, sometimes you have to be a little bit more thoughtful about finding your openings.
Let's see. Quick little two-piece off stage. Hughes was jockeying for position there, but Wess just clips out of it on the way up.
All right, let's see. Can we get something meaningful here? I mean, only very slight damage lead here, and an attempt read from Use is not going to garner much, but has positioning and the damage lead still.
Okay. That was like really, really awkward overlap between two players, and neither of them were super confident to push a button there. See, though, Use is slowly pulling away with the damage lead, but Wess with the opening. Use burn dodge, gets out. Oh, and from downtown just chucks the sword away. We really didn't get a lot of the Chakram to talk about in that first game.
Not much at all, right? I mean, really, a lot of it was just stray hits, right? I mean, the thing about the sword is that the frame data on a lot of the attacks are pretty quick, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, in the past, we have seen Use play Orb as well. We've seen him play Fate, and even, I think, Ezio in the past, right? And so it's like, okay, there's part of me that's kind of wondering why we're not seeing that. But you have the same affordances. You have really quick hitboxes that you can throw out to punish someone when they whiff something. And sometimes, even if you're not getting the full conversion, if you just rinse, repeat that scenario enough times, that's all it really takes.
Right. We do see some of the stats from the previous game. I really feel like Wess's gauntlets were not activated, and that signature kit from Tesca is so nice on this legend, right? Like, it did under 100 damage in that first game. Maybe we can get a little bit more out of him here.
Yeah, now these Chakrams starting to cook up here.
Oh my
Beautiful
God, okay.
read with the down sig as well. Covers a good amount of dodge options there, and Use really pulling ahead, gets the recovery. Not going to be enough, but if he's able to catch the landing on the dodge.
Yeah, that was close. That would have KO'd too, I think, in positioning.
I think so too. Definitely worth going for there, even though he didn't end up securing the knockout. I mean, Wess still in the back foot, but trying to answer back now.
Okay, Wess can't get the action started. Still pushes off stage. Kind of puts himself in a reversal situation, but makes the most out of it. Gravity cancel does whip once again.
Oh, but can't line up the hit before he gets the dodge back, and then just completely mismanages his movement options off stage.
Yeah,
I'm
really not sure what Use was cooking up there. It was something fierce, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait until this stock to see maybe what Use was plotting over on the right side.
Keeping the Fuse Chakram here, recognizing he only needs one hit. Gonna split it up anyway, so he can get a bit more, I guess, you know, chances to fade away in case he misses. But
right.
I mean, look, Wess is not throwing out these hitboxes. If that was a Fuse sider, though, that would have been the stock.
100%, 100%. But you do get to do it the old-fashioned way with the sword, and Use hardly touched on the second stock, so it's practically even.
All right, looking to rack up the damage with the Chakrams yet again. We did see him get at least one 5-piece string earlier on in that first stock. Oh, and he gets the dodge here as well. Huge damage.
Yeah, that's a big window as well. Wess burned a dodge there, but Use just didn't want to pull the trigger on trying to shark the landing.
Oh, it fades away with the recovery. Wess can't punish it.
Yep.
The boost just doesn't have the range. It has the speed, but not the range. All right,
waiting for one of these gravity cancel signatures that Wess is so known for, basically just side switching and promoting an edge guard. Haven't really seen any of those connect on the side of Wess so far.
Yeah, I mean, when Use is whiff punishing you as hard as he is, right?
Yeah.
It makes you that much more scared to kind of go for a YOLO sig, because you're like, man, I want to put myself even further behind. But I mean, Wess trying to pick his moments carefully here. Use now with the Fuse Chakram trying to throw out some hits and honestly getting whiff punished for it. There we go. Fuse side air, the weapon throw forces out the dodge, a chance for a ground pound. Doesn't go for it. I think that would have been a great moment to let that go. You know Wess doesn't have a dodge.
Use is so patient. It's crazy. Like, I feel like any other player just completely goes for an attack as soon as you see Wess make that move and miss with it, and Use just takes another half beat to just wait, find his perfect opening, force the edge guard once again. And you can see it, the damage is starting to spread out a little bit right here. Recovery doesn't find its mark. Use just looking for the one opening.
Yeah, and Use perfectly fine with just, you know, inching closer and closer toward that knockout, right? If you get the recovery and it knocks out, cool. If not, he's cool with just neutralizing 100 times. Eventually, it will KO. But we do have the Chakrams in hand again. Start throwing out some YOLO recoveries. There's one.
Yep.
Doesn't connect. Maybe another. Or even a side air fused should do it. Oh, but gets caught by the down sig.
This is what I expect out of a player like Wess, right? He just kind of eventually gets in your head and finds these signatures that look like they should not work, but they do.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's kind of a stark difference between these two styles of player. Use isn't someone that just lets the sig rip really on any character that I've ever seen him play. You know, throwing out that down sig on Priya on Chakram is a very popular option. You can get rid of the stock pretty fast. But as far as the amount of sigs Use has been successfully able to land, I think it's been one side sig on Chakrams and one down sig on Chakrams, and that's been it.
Let's see, though. Just like that, Wess is extending this lead ever so slightly. Recovery does cover a lot, but it's still not enough damage, especially with Wess that low below the stage to get it off the top KO.
Yeah, you know, with the amount of attempts for a ceiling knockout here, I'm like, maybe a different stage would be better for this. Okay, there we go.
Finally does get there. Yeah, I mean, didn't really matter at that point if it were fused or split. But Hughes does get the job done on that stock. He's got his work cut out for him, though, on this stock. And it looks like Wess is in pretty strong position with the gauntlet pickup now. Okay, and Wess not burning the dodge there, just holding on to it. That's going to be a punish. Wow, I love the extra patience from Hughes, not immediately trying to counterpunch, but waiting for that end light from Wess instead, and then he gets more damage because of it. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, Gravity Cancel splits up the chakrams. Yeah, maybe we'll see a bit more of an extended punish, just kind of from ground level to the ceiling. Wait, hang on, burn dodge. Okay.
I guess he must have touched the floor before he got that end light, though. Bit of lucky break for Wess.
This is such scary macro positioning. We'll go over it after this stock, but I am shocked that Wess is playing. Yeah, he has nothing, right? No resources left.
Has to touch.
Dodges it. Oh, I love that pullback from Wess, but yeah, just not enough space there. And just like that, Hughes goes up too.
Yeah, honestly, does the forced error route, right? It looks like there might have been enough jumps and drift combined from Wess in that scenario to get the wall touch, but he would have had to have held forward the entire time.
Yeah.
Hughes jumped out there, scared him a little bit, forced him to pull back, and then he couldn't actually get the wall touch afterward. You can see it right here. He gets sent super far, tries to dodge, and then, you know, he pulls back, is unable to get the touch. So well played from Hughes, bringing that one out. I mean, 2-0 in the set right now. Wess has had close games every single time, but hasn't been able to close it up.
Yeah, and this is for grand finals, by the way, folks. So going into this game 3, I represent, you were kind of getting at stage selections. I think if Wess wins this game, I don't want to speak too soon, I would think we change stages for the point that you brought up. The ceiling KOs are just not there for Hughes.
And there we go. Okay, tries to go for the down air here. It's not going to work. I mean, Wess getting caught by the recovery, but I mean, we'll see if maybe Wess can bring this one back. I mean, Hughes has been playing a very slow, calculated game, and it's been working completely in his favor. I honestly, if I'm Hughes, I'm just keeping my game plan exactly the way I've been doing it. You know, it's been enough.
It is crazy. Like, you really can see the shades, as Wess actually is the one to get first strike here, but you really can see the shades of Jaeyoon, like, in this playstyle, right? The step backs are so clean, right? He's not overcommitting to some moves. Because I think he's lived that life with the greatsword, being like, you know, I don't want to get whiff punished when my buttons are long like that.
Exactly.
So I'm going to take my time, and then if I can find my opening, if it takes 100 recoveries, it takes 100 recoveries, but I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, there's very few people that kind of play like that. I think kind of someone else who would do that, but he would be playing a high-strength legend like Teros, where you're using Axe and Light to KO. It's still going to KO at a decent range, right? Whereas Sword and Chakrams, unless you're using the Fuse Chakram, it's gonna take quite a bit longer. And so we'll see. I mean, Wess almost lapping Hughes in this game number 3, though. So maybe I take back what I said earlier. Maybe now's the time you got to start changing up the game plan. Because once you start falling this far behind, you can't just keep doing more of what isn't working.
Yeah, this is always the big question, right? Is a lot of what we've been commenting on so far is Hughes playing with a lead, or at least playing like at parity with Wess. We haven't really seen as significant of a lead from Wess as we are right now. Let's see if Hughes can close up the edge guard. Does get the recovery, but it's not going to KO. Yeah,
I'm like surprised because I'm like, the dodge is burned from Wess, so the mix-up is not potent. But Hughes opting to go for these recoveries instead of just securing the knockout with the ground pound is a bit perplexing to me, and it's giving more opportunity for Wess to build even larger of a lead going into the final stock here of Hughes in this game number 3, but he does still have at least 2 games to work with. So,
for sure.
You know, can try to make whatever adjustments he'd like, trying to get that side light. That's not going to be enough. The fused end light also not going to be enough. Maybe going to throw out a recovery here just for the sake of it. Nope, going for the end light again. It's not going to connect. Another end light finally just punches him in the face with Chakram. Finally get that first stock, and then we're going to split to the fused version to go ahead and try to rack up some damage.
Yeah, but Wess did get an aerial on the way out. I think all of these hits are rather significant,
I
right?
agree.
So like we are really seeing, and I don't want to say like one game is enough data for us to be like, oh, use washed ? I don't know, but like the game plan is kind of getting exposed a little bit because Hughes is so far behind in this match. Like, what are his comeback tools with Priya?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing worth mentioning because Priya doesn't like really have, you know, across both weapons a signature that's going to do anything too crazy to you. Maybe Sword and Sig can sometimes be a little surprising, but otherwise, hold on, maybe an edge guard?
It could be. Yeah, but this is split though, right? So a lot of the aerials that you're going to get are going to kind of drag back up and create more of those ceiling KOs that we talked about, which was a bit of a gap in this playstyle so far.
But hold on, I mean, Yuz is winning these exchanges and getting meaningful damage. I mean, if he's able to get into this final stock, only being around the orange, I think that's actually a winnable position to come back from. And right there, could have gone for the down tick off the initial side light, wanted a little bit more extra damage, I respect it. But even here, I'd probably be mashing down tick a little bit more liberally, because I think it'll still just catch Wess, because he's diving in like this, but instead,
it's tough. Yeah, you do not want to give Wess an opening like this. He's out of here. Okay, Wess on the board for sure. And I think, yeah, what was that? A 3-stock to 1 basically start for Wess?
Effectively, yeah. I mean, I'll give it up to Yuz for slowly kind of inching back toward the end there, but a little too late is the name of the game there.
So that's the big question, right? So I think you're right. I would imagine on the Thinking Man's Brawlhalla, we're changing the stage to get a lower ceiling. Because those recoveries, KOs, attempts with the sword were just completely not there. To like an embarrassing degree, where it was like close to deep red and it wasn't getting KOs, you know, like. So yeah, we are going over to Miami Dome. We are changing the scenery a little bit. Yuz is still 1 game away from advancing into Grand Finals, but Wess showing some signs of life now. And
this is just going to be way better for Yuz overall, just because the platform layout means you're going to be able to reset your jumps on these platforms and then continue to keep chasing Wess in the sky with your recoveries and your nairs. You know, go for a read with the down air. I mean, look at this right here. He's going to go on this platform, boom, right, reset, back to trying to make the juggles continue. Wess does a good job of getting at a disadvantage, but look how easy it is for Yuz to reset himself in a position where it's much harder for Wess to get back down. I mean, with Chakrams, the name of the game is how far can you extend the juggle? Yeah,
and again, I mean, we can't state it enough to you guys at home. This is attached to a player who is arguably one of the most patient in the world, right? Like, so the ability for him to reset his movement, reset his resources, this is an insanely good stage for Priya.
Oh, and he got the dodge there as well. Oh. Huge damage. Tries to go for the side sig. A dodge up from Wess. Going to get him out of harm's way. Nice retaliatory cider at a disadvantage. And Wess... Oh my god.
Crazy whiffs from both sides. I'm shocked that the gravity cancel attempt didn't hit, and somehow they're still just threading the needle between the both of them.
Oh, no attempted punish from Yuz there as well. Could have maybe gone for the recovery, but didn't want to risk it. And there we go, comes in with the end light. And there's a lot of scenarios here where, you know, I think before a sword player would be much more confident for going for the D light, but now that it's a little bit slower, we're seeing the end light come out way more from Yuz, which is kind of why some of these stocks are lasting as long as they are, right? That lack of confidence in these scenarios.
Okay, off stage, Wess, maybe with the ground. Sinks underneath and goes for the recovery. I love that. Wess has been going a lot of these top to bottom edge guard routes, trying to go for the bottom blast zone. Mixes it up right there, and just as I say it, Yuz evens the stocks right back up.
Really spooked in there. I too was like, man, I got to dodge this ground pound that's coming, and then you get hit by the recovery and KO'd off the top. You're like, dang, you got me, bro. That was great. Smart play.
Very, very evenly matched. We did see in the head-to-head, these two have played a ton of matches against each other. It's like a combined 70 or something along those lines.
Like 67-ish, you know? It's like a wild amount. And you can see in the way that they're playing. I mean, look how even things are right now. Wess with a beautiful punish on these Chakrams and, you know, trying to juggle the Chakrams in the same way that he's being juggled, right? Getting right under and then trying to fight back. But you do have to watch for the reversal option in that split Chakram down air, right? You get caught by that, could be a bad time.
I'm kind of surprised that Wess is hopping around on the soft platforms also, right? Like, you're almost inviting Yuz to go for one of his win cons, and you see like a quick little string from Yuz evens up the damage right now at 2 stocks apiece.
Oh my god.
And just like that, it reverses around. Yuz takes the first stock now.
Yeah, I think at some point in there, Yuz snuck in a weapon throw, picked up the weapon back up, so when he went for the down air, it was the fuse down air, and you could see how quickly Wess disappeared by getting hit by that fuse down air.
See, now Wess maybe gluing his feet a little bit more towards the floor. Does find the movement resources off of that soft platform. I mean, it goes both ways, right?
Oh, this is going to be a close one here. Yuz trying to close out this set. Wess making it difficult. Going to be starving Yuz. Nope. Yuz does manage to pick up a sword. Has been racking up most of his damage on these stocks with the split Chakrams. But hey, this sword also proving to be perfectly fine at holding its own against these gauntlets from Wess. I mean, look at this retaliatory punishes, but Wess answering back.
Oh, the chase dodge forward again. I think we're starting to see some more shades of Wess's aggression. The question is, has he run out of time in his winner's bracket, right? He needs to win this game right now to force the game 5.
Yeah, I mean, the scary thing is, despite the fact that we're watching Yuz get you know, these slices here and there. Chakrams are kind of like Katars. They don't do that much damage for each individual hit, so you're going to have to hit Wess that many more times. And he's inching, but, you know, Wess with those battle boots,
he didn't pick the weapon up. Oh my god, that's actually such a huge implication. Wess didn't get the weapon pickup.
And he's moving anyway. I'll put it up. Finally gets caught, though. The weapon spawned like a millisecond too late.
Yeah.
You know, Wess could have had that, but it doesn't matter. Has the gauntlets back in hand, and honestly isn't trailing too far behind. And this is Tezca we're talking about. You get caught by a signature at this damage range, and that could just be the stock, so he's going to have to be careful.
Oh, misrecovery, Wess.
Ooh.
Gets the ground pound, okay? And it's just over? We're going to game 5?
I'm sure, maybe I'm bugging, but I was looking at Use and I'm like, you could have jumped, I think, at the end there. Like, I was looking, it's hard because it happened so fast, right? But I'm looking in the magnifying glass and I don't see the animation of Priya being in hit stun. But maybe it was just like really close. I'm like, I swear you could be mashing jump or recovery to get one more attempt to get back here, but maybe it was just that optimal damage range. Here, oh no.
Oh, he was sweat beating
Yeah,
before.
he was. He got hit by the ground pound right before he touched.
I'll
That
be honest,
explains it all.
yeah, because I was focused entirely on Wess, and I was like, oh, he's sweat beated, so he has to touch the platform. What's his mix-up going to be for the edge guard? I didn't even notice that Use ran out of movement as well. And just like that, we're going to be in game 5. Okay. This is crazy. Reverse 3-0 potentially?
Yeah, it just might be. I mean, only time will tell. It's a great start for you so far. I mean, the Priya has been looking good, but just not commanding at any moment, right? Every game that Use has won, he's kind of just inched his way closer and closer to victory and then played a very consistent, solid game. Whereas Wess has been able to find moments to have these burst options that swing the tides. And so if Use can just get even one play like that, I think that'll be enough for him to win the set and guarantee himself a spot in the grand finals. But it just has not been going that way.
Yeah, for sure. I think the comparison you made of the Chakram to Katars, I feel like is really on point too. Like when the weapon first came out, I remember even looking at it and I was like, oh, it's Katars but up. Yeah. And I'm like, cool. But I think just if we were to look at if there was a stat of like damage per engagement, right, which I think we do have in some capacity at some point from the Brawlhalla staff, it seems like Wess is edging out for the most part, or at least getting a little bit more damage because of just the nature of his weapon kit that he has on the Legend.
And we can see here, I mean, the Scythe is going to come out from Priya. Huge punish from Wess. Maybe a ground pound. No. Isn't going to try to be too greedy here. And as I say that,
he got greedy.
Yep. And gets smacked in the face for it, you know? But, like, I get it. Because if you get the stock there, you're going to have a 3-1 lead. That's a hefty stock. Instead, you know, you still have a lead. But there's something to be said, I think, about, like, having a damage lead but having the same stocks.
Oh, hang on.
I mean, we're even now. Just like that.
Listening for a second. He said, you want to see damage per engagement? Allow me to show you for a second.
Oh, huge Chakram damage coming out there from Use. That's exactly the string he needed to come back into this match. Oh, okay. Oh, delayed dodge down.
Oh, and that disarm too. That's pretty huge. Use does pick up the sword.
Legend spawn.
Yep, not finding too much more after that. Sneaks away with the boots though. Steals him straight from the shop.
Yeah, gonna need maybe one more hit. Okay, there we go. Now a D-Light recovery should be enough to knock out. Goes for it immediately.
Off stage. What does Wess do again? Whoa. Look, I love these dip downs. Again, he's just been conditioning Use on these. I'm going to crash down on top of you. I'm going to go for the ground pounds. And then when I establish the mix-up, I can get a recovery KO. It didn't work that time, though.
Wow, you actually got the punish there. Does the side sig off the stage to use the effects of gravity to make it a little bit harder to get the punish, but Wess able to place that boot side air in time. Use now behind. You just need to get that D-Light recovery. Okay, straight recovery is going to be enough, but this is as close as it can be. I mean, Use, you know, we've seen him be able to get some of the strings, right? You know,
we have.
Racks up a lot of damage, but when it comes to securing the knockout, Homeboy's taking his time. I'm not going to hold you all.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's last stock here. Oh, okay. Ran out of movement.
Yeah, good damage, though.
It really feels like Use has, like, immediately addressed the problem that we brought up, where you're like, oh, I don't think your Chakrams are getting enough damage. And then he's like, okay, I'm just going to get really long strings now instead.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And then it's like, oh, it's KO time, and he's swapping over to sword and going for recovery. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's not a bad option. You know, but we're not seeing aggressive edge guards, really.
Oh, splits it. Okay, that is a bit of a window for Wess to get a hit in.
Okay, just gets 2 hits and backs off. I respect it, you know?
And once again, this is the problematic positioning I talked about in an earlier game on Miami Dome. Wess is kind of just hanging out on these soft platforms, allowing Use to get the vertical space that Chakram really wins off of.
Oh, careful here if you use perfectly timed dodge around the ground pound. Has a reversal opportunity, is unable to find the hit.
Okay.
Has to split Chakram as well.
Hang on.
Split him up, split him up. Split him up.
He doesn't want to find the opening.
There it
Oh,
is.
he has to get the hitbox with it.
Oh my God! I can't
cannot
believe
believe nothing hit
yeah,
from
that was
either
crazy.
side.
Okay, opportunity for a punish. Not
This
going
might
to be
be it.
taken. Goes for the side air.
Bit of desperation, though, coming out of both sides. The signature's
Recovery,
used.
not enough. Not enough.
It disarmed.
Recovery. You need to
How
catch
do
the
you land?
landing.
How do you land?
Oh, he just lets him touch the floor.
Oh,
And lands.
okay.
Weapon throw. Going to
Weapon
pick
toss.
it up. Falling side air. No, we're going to go back to save.
We know Yu's is going to go for the step back.
Okay,
It's
cool.
always right
Thank
there.
God.
And finally, one last recovery for the road. And Yu's giving us a bit of heart palpitations.
Yeah.
Maybe on the verge of getting reverse 3-0'd, but said, you know what? I'm him. I'm different.
Locked in for the last moment. There was part of me that, like, in that last sequence there, I really thought Yuz was going to go for End-Light because there were so many scenarios where he could have gone for D-Light in the set.
Right.
And he's just gone for End-Light. But at some point, the dog in you was like, bro, you need to win now. If this D-Light don't hit, fine. You know, like, you just got